In the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, we've seen so many vile, evil, and nonsensical comments.
Who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
But we haven't really seen too much within the sports world. But what we just saw from New York Mets announcer Gary Cohen, he said it was weird that Charlie Kirk's friend Matt Shaw attended his memorial and had to miss a game for it. Watch this.
Shaw had Cubs World in a tizzy this weekend when he was not here for the Cubs game with the Reds. And I don't want to talk about any of the politics of it, but the thought of leaving your team in the middle of a race for any reason other than a family emergency really strikes me as weird.
It's unusual. I think it's...
There's nothing weird about a friend of Charlie Kirk who is invited to the memorial by Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, as you can see he revealed to reporters.
His wife, Erica, had texted me asking me if I would come to the funeral. And, I felt as though it was something that was really important for me to do.
What's weird is saying that you don't want to get into the politics of it, but you're shaming a guy whose friend just got brutally assassinated. The most impactful and heart-wrenching thing we've seen in this country since 9/11, and Charlie was a fellow Christian that they shared their faith together, as he shared with reporters.
My connection with Charlie was through our faith. That's something that drives me every day. That's the reason why I'm able to do what I do every day, and that's something I'm extremely thankful for.
I also find it extremely interesting that it wasn't weird that his team did a moment of silence for George Floyd, and not just a moment of silence, they walked off the field and refused to play.
All of the Marlins and Mets have come out of their dugouts. Michael Wacha takes off his hat, and all the Mets on the field are removing their hats as well. And now, after a moment of silence that lasted 42 seconds, the day before we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day, the Mets are exiting the field after both teams exchanged a wave of caps to one another. So it would appear as though, after a poignant moment, that the Mets and Marlins will not be playing baseball tonight. And a Black Lives Matter shirt left on top of home plate.
But when Matt Shaw decides, I'm going to attend my friend's funeral who was just a part of a political assassination at the request of his wife, that's weird. The double standards are egregious, and the insensitivity is off the charts. There's nothing weird about saying, I prioritize my friend and fellow Christ follower who was assassinated over a baseball game.
Whatever backlash comes is okay. I feel strong about my faith in that what was meant to be happened.
Yes, the Chicago Cubs could have used Matt Shaw. But who could use him more? Is Erica Kirk.
I forgive him.
Her kids and Charlie's family that he was clearly close with and built a friendship with while he was out in Arizona.
He was someone that I met at the apartments in Arizona where I lived, and then someone who was one of the biggest Cubs fans I ever met. And he texted me after every game, great win for the Cubbies, and he was super, super supportive.
This is way past insensitive. This is despicable to me. Because we've seen over and over and over again the double standard.
So it would appear as though, after a poignant moment, that the Mets and Marlins will not be playing baseball tonight. And a Black Lives Matter shirt left on top of home plate.
He wouldn't dream of saying it's weird that maybe one of the players on the Mets decided to kneel for the national anthem and claim that our country is racist.
I don't think we have to say much about it. I mean, we showed our action tonight that we're not just going to shut up and dribble, shut up and play ball. And we're going to stand for what we believe in. So I don't think we have to speak too much on that. We showed them tonight by our actions.
I don't know why in the world this is even a story. Cubs fandom and the organization were in a tizzy.
Shaw had Cubs World in a tizzy this weekend when he was not here for the Cubs game with the Reds.
Because a guy attended his friend's funeral? A guy that was killed for simply having civil discourse on college campuses? Someone who you probably think, Gary, was a racist. Even though that's been debunked over and over and over again.
Well, let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action.
Someone who's been called a white supremacist.
It's my brother up here. Where's my man? Look at him. You got to come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Get over the gate. Come over the gate. Look at this guy here. Look at this. Yeah. Right to the mic.
You stand for me, we good.
Wait, I only stand up for white. Is that a white man? Can you look at him, please? Look at him. Is that a white man? Is that a white man? You said I only stand up for white men. He's got dreads.
The weird part of this is how people like you have responded in the aftermath. This is way, way bigger than baseball. This is about faith. This is about family. And this is about honoring a good friend. I think 100% Gary Cohen needs to apologize for this. I think SNY should address it. Shouldn't get it thrown under the rug. Because we're seeing a crazy time right now where people are allowed to say some of the most vile, awful, ridiculous things, including people like Jimmy Kimmel, who was not suspended for 4 days because of free speech. He claimed that the killer was MAGA.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
That comment was not just insensitive. That comment was not just poorly timed. It was a lie.
These people need to be held accountable for it, and there needs to be consequences. And again, at very least, there needs to be an apology. What do you think about this situation? Is it completely blown out of proportion like I think it is? Let me know your other comments. If you want to get more content like this, you can obviously subscribe. You can click the bell so you can get notified anytime I'm coming out with a piece of content. Always feel free to shoot me a DM on any of my other social medias to discuss this further. Thanks for watching. God bless.